Being joined now by Arjun Sharma. He's the chairman of the Select Group. Mr. Sharma, thank you so much for your time. With the government now deciding that the malls will be opening up, what exactly have you proposed? And how will the shopping experience change from 8th onwards?
Hi. So obviously, we welcome this order. The shopping centers had been kind of singled out when they opened the other markets. We were a bit disappointed at that stage because we believe that shopping centers offer a better environment to do crowd control, to do sanitization. The Shopping Center Association of India has presented to both the MHA and to the various state governments a very detailed SOP. It's like runs into 48 pages. And I think we are best equipped to deal with it. So, for instance, I know that at Select City Walk, we're going to make sure that we're only going to allow 33% of our capacity for the first few weeks. We just want to make sure that the opening is very calibrated. We want to take small steps. And of course, things like air conditionings are being looked at, social distancing, sanitization points, all touch points are trying to get as much contactless as possible. And I think at the end of the day, we have to remember that shopping centers represent approximately 11% of manufacturing India. So we are the show window. So if the government wants factories to open, then they have to sell somewhere. So in a way, I think it's a good first step. But obviously, we all want to take these steps in a very calibrated and tread very carefully.
But Mr. Sharma, when you say that you'll be allowing 33% of shops to open up, does it mean that these many shops will be decided by the mall authorities, or will it be about 33% people being allowed inside the malls?
I think it's more about 33% of the people. We are waiting for the state governments to come out with their local SOPs. For example, when Delhi government created the SOPs for the local markets, they said odd even for shops. We don't know what it will be post 1st of June or the 8th of June. We are waiting for clarity on that front. However, we will work closely with the authorities, be it the state or the center. And I think whatever the center or the state's right, you can be rest assured that responsible shopping centers will do more than required to be careful about sanitization and all the processes.
But how will the shops be contactless, in the sense that where there are clothes on display or jewelry or other things, people have the tendency of touching those before finally choosing to buy?
Well, I think every retailer has been working over the last 2 months, and every responsible retailer has been looking at their processes. So, for example, trial rooms, how to sanitize those after usage. There are now so much technology and experience that retailers and shopping centers have had. Don't forget that places like China, Hong Kong, Dubai have opened nearly about a month and a half before us. So there's a lot of knowledge out there as to what can happen. And we've already seen that a lot of stores which are from the organized retail on high streets have experienced that when they've opened in the high street. So I think there is a lot of learning out there. Is it foolproof? Not yet, but I think we're nearly all there, and we will all take the necessary precautions, because the last thing we need is to be agents of spread of this dreaded pandemic.
That's right. And as you pointed out, Dubai opened up a month ago. So there are certain best practices that are there. And are the mall associations in touch with those malls and other places which have opened up already, and then you have drafted your SOP which you sent to the center?
Absolutely. In fact, we had the privilege of actually seeing various countries open first. So, China opened, Hong Kong opened, Dubai opened. Countries like Australia never closed, for instance. The US never closed. So there's been a lot of learning over the last few months. And I think what India and the Shopping Center Association of India has come up with is a very robust plan that deals with all these things. So it's, things like sanitization tunnels. There is a bit of a confusion on the Arogya Setu app. We would like to make it mandatory, but I believe some state governments are not very keen to do it. Various, courts have kind of differed or deferred over it. We're not sure as to how that will be implemented. Like, for example, airports and airlines are implementing it. We would like to implement it at shopping centers, but I think there's no clarity on some of those things, which we are hoping that the SOPs of the center and the state will deal with some of these ambiguities.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us, Arjun Sharma, and sharing your thoughts about what the malls will be doing when they open up 8th of June onwards.